Good evening, William here with Sullivan Auto Trading. I'm going to do a quick walk around on this Acadia. Starting from the front, headlight housings are crystal clear, no signs of oxidation. So you got some wax, there's some wax on it. But all of the gapping is correct. Everything looks good. All the gapping on the hood here looks good. Couple of small blemishes here. Actually, the hood looks like it's in really good condition. Couple little spots here and here, and on the other side that probably could use just a dab of touch-up paint. We can mix that prior to getting here Friday to match perfectly. But front looks really good. Bumper, yeah, a little bit of bugs etched in the front of it. See if I can get a close-up view of what that looks like. You can kind of see here and here. This is inevitable, especially with black when you drive it. These bugs hit these and they just kind of etch into the clear. But we'll give it a once-over, try to buff this one good time, this whole front bumper. But no real blemishes or cracks or dents or anything like that. But you do have a lot of little bug markings, as you can see here. This is all etching from bugs, but I think a lot of that will clean up with some wet sanding, so I'm going to make a note to do that. Moving along the driver's side fender, looking again, gapping's all correct here, no signs of previous paint work anywhere, and the fender looks good. There is an area I noticed, the first thing I noticed when I walked up to this is it has some light scratching here, and the light scratching continues down the side of it. All of this can be wet sand and buffed off. The only part of that I'm concerned about is an area here and this area here, only because I can get my fingernail in there. So we can clean up all of that. I just think that might be a little bit too deep. But as far as seeing any like dents or dings or chips or anything as I look down here, it looks really good. But I've had a GM vehicle in this black and it shows everything. And it almost seems like the cleaner you make these, the more they show stuff. It's like, it's a very hard vehicle not to show imperfections on, just because of how dark and has a lot of sheen to it. It's a very high gloss black, so looks great when it's clean, but you know. But we're gonna be able to clean all that up. But there is, like I said, there's some light brush. It almost looks like somebody pulled the side of a bush. And it's there. I don't know if the camera's picking it up or not, but it is. But we're gonna clean that up. We're gonna wet sand and buff this side of the car and that front bumper. But so far, from the bumper to the hood, I don't see anything that really jumps out at me, especially for a 2016. Here we are coming up on 2025s coming out, and you know, for almost a 10-year-old vehicle, so far so good. So I think you can be overcritical of vehicles sometimes. I try not to be overcritical, but I don't want to miss anything on the video. As we get back here to the rear side, all the gapping looks correct on the back side of the bumper. When I say gapping, I mean the way that this lines up. A telltale sign that something's been replaced, especially with aftermarket parts, is these gaps don't line up correctly, and it's almost impossible to get them right when they're in accident. So looks good here. Small imperfection down here, a little blemish behind the tire. Again, kind of probably inevitable. Moving around to the rear side. Looks very clean. There's something here that's just wax. Looks very, very good. Getting down along the trailer hitch, everything, some dirt on it, but looks good. And I don't see anything that is damaged. This probably could be pulled up a little bit tighter, but looks good. I don't see anything really visible. So, like I said, there's a lot of stuff like this that you're gonna see on this black car, and it's just, as you take 2 steps back, it disappears. But when you really get up on them in highlight, you know, there's just little blemishes so far around the vehicle. But on the rear here, you have one little mark here where it looks like it was touched up. That's probably the most severe thing that I've seen on the vehicle. But I think as we go around, we wet sand and buff this whole car again, I think a lot of these little blemishes will be removed. Quarter panel passenger side looks good. Small blemish here. Gapping looks good. Small blemish here. Everything so far up. The side mirror housings look good. Got some etching right here from a bug. And then the passenger side fender looks good. So that is the exterior of your car. So from 2 steps back, you don't see any of the blemishes, but when you get up on this thing, you know, just about every panel's got a little something. I wouldn't consider any of it damage, and I think, like I said, a good wet sand and buff on this whole car will really get rid of a lot of it, but I do want to make note of that stuff. So let me hit the tires and wheels first. So first wheel, driver's side in the front, no curb rash. Tire tread depth is probably about 5 to 6/32 of an inch. To give you an idea, 2/32 of an inch is your wear bar, and that is your state inspection guideline minimum. So it's about double to, let's see if I can get in here. It's about 4/32 of an inch. So the tires probably have another year to 14, 16 months left on them. Definitely way too early to replace them, but they're not brand new either. What is brand new is, as I'm looking in here, looks like you got brand new brakes and rotors. Moving along to the driver's side rear wheel, also in great condition. Tires are measuring equal, about 4 to 5/32 of an inch. Passenger side, tire condition's the same, and no curb rash anywhere on the vehicle. Also, you got brand new rotors and brakes in the rear, so looks like you got brand new brakes all the way around it, and no curb rash on this side. Take a look inside the vehicle, give it the sniff test. Very neutral smell, definitely not a smoker and definitely not a pet owner, so you don't smell any signs of perfume or anything that's covered up. Seats are very clean. A little bit of light bolster wear here, which expected on a 9-year-old vehicle, but the seats are very clean. Passenger seat as well. As we look in the back seats here, you can see no signs of, child seats will tear this up really bad, and it doesn't look like you have those deep impressions that are in these seats when this child seat is anchored down at 1,000 pounds per square inch and tied down to the anchors of the back seat. So got the all-weather cargo mat cover, and those go through the entire car, so they definitely have the right covers. And because of those covers, it's no surprise when we look under, the carpets are in phenomenal condition. So those weather techs go all the way up here to the front. Headliner is extremely clean. Let's go ahead and check the backup camera. It's crystal clear. You always want to check these in this because they can be fuzzy sometimes. They're usually easy fix, but you got to replace the camera. Inside of this vehicle is in excellent condition. Really. Headrest DVDs. Take a look at the rear. I don't have to smile because I'm not in it. It's just very clean. Got your toe, your wiring there. See you, buddy. Have a good night. This panel pops off where you have your jack storage. And you have your speaker controls all back here. Really nice inside. We'll get a shot of the motor and wrap this up, and then I'll give you my opinion of the vehicle. motor spotless. And it sounds like a sewing machine. Sounds great. Looking down, I don't see any signs of rust anywhere or corrosion. I mean, look how clean even these clamps are. Even the connections on these harnesses are clean. It's just, the motor is immaculate. The top here and the sound dampener. It's really, really clean. Extremely clean on the inside. So, my overall opinion of the car. You're not going to find, on this black car, you're not going to find a panel on here that doesn't have some type of light blemish. When I step away at this distance, I don't see not one of them. The car looks spotless. It looks like glass. The thing is that it would be lying to you if I didn't say, and you saw in the video, little itty bitty things around the whole car. Now we're going to do our best to wet sand and buff the whole thing again and bring them all to the best we can. And this is just me being critical of what I've gone over. My next criticism would be the tires aren't brand new, but they're also not close. They're not close to being needing to be replaced. You still have another year, and all the tread is matched. It's all consistent all the way across. You have all the same tires on all the way across, so everything's wearing at the same speed. And I just think it's a little premature to replace the tires. But you know, it's going to be an expense you're going to have in the next 18 months probably. And let me pick one more thing to be critical of. Even after we wet sand and we do all the buffing, there's a couple things that aren't going to go away, and that's going to be this scratch and this scratch and this touch tip area right here. I think the rest of it, we bring a lot of that out. But yeah, in this color, you're going to be hard pressed to find one of this year that doesn't have this same stuff. Everything that you see on here is all from the road. It's just from things that are on the road coming up with it, well, with the exception of whatever this brush scratch was on the side here. But I think that once our buffers and wet sanders go over top of this, it's going to turn out really, really good. Some of the perks of this vehicle. The headlight housings are crystal clear, which is usually demonstrative of this vehicle was garage kept. You know, when they sit out in the sun, they bake, they oxidize, they get gray, they got to be buffed. You know, they were very careful when they parked this car. Each wheel is in pristine condition. No curb rash anywhere on the wheels. The inside is spotless, and it was not a smoker. It was not a pet owner, and so it's very, very clean. So, I mean, if you're looking for a brand new one, it's not that. If you're looking for a very, very nice car, I think you found one. So I hope this video kind of helps you, at least helps you make the decision whether or not you want to come up and look at it in person. I know you're traveling a long way, and we want to be respectful of your time. And we'll do our best to get, you know, as many blemishes out as we can. But in this black, it's tough. If this was a white car, I don't think you'd notice 90% of them. But because, like I said, because it's black, it shows a lot. So thank you so much, and just be in touch with Madison.